one, the only, Scott Adams, Boomer, has officially declared us victorious over him. He has announced publicly that we canceled him. We're going to be looking at that later on in the show. We got the clips. He has admitted that we have canceled his show. He's lost 25% of his audience since we began our tirade. So you guys are going to get to watch that, plus some more Boomer clips. And we're going to have a Scott Adams Ask Me Anything. So if you're a fan, or if you've heard, or not a fan, you hate Boomer, whatever it is, if you've got some questions, we've been compiling a lot because we've been really showcasing the truth about Boomer lately. We've been really talking about the reality of his streams, what he's been putting out to the world. And a lot of people are coming to me. There's hundreds of people on Reddit. We're getting these messages of people who are like, is he this? Is he that? Is this true? What do you know? And I want you all to know I am an expert on Scott Adams. I'm a self-proclaimed expert on the topic of Scott Adams. And so as a self-proclaimed expert, I am the authority. In fact, I'd say I'm a better authority, in my opinion, than Scott Adams is on himself, because how can we truly know who we really are, right? So I'll be answering all your questions with 100% accuracy to my opinion of him. Let's get in to Boomer here today, boys and girls. Episode 1649. Boomer is about to admit that we, yes, us, canceled him. He's canceled. He's lost 25% of his audience, and it's all thanks to us. Please try to ignore the enormous growth on the side of his head. I know it's distracting. Please try to ignore that. People have been calling him Spot Adams because of it, which thank you, commenters. Very good comments.
So on the other team, you're all about cancel culture, aren't you? Not you specifically, but apparently the public. Now, this brings me to me. And I would like to say something to some of you, but many of you I've already blocked and canceled. How many of you have tried to cancel me in the last 2 years for my opinions? A lot.
Nobody has tried to cancel him for his opinions. In fact, we didn't even try to cancel his opinions. All I had to say was very clearly and very concisely, his audio is crap and he's a liar. And he won't admit that his audio's crap. That's my only contention. If that's canceling, then boy, you got to really up your game. Because let me tell you, the stuff they've been throwing at Joe Rogan lately, nothing related to the real reasons he should be canceled. And he's still going strong. So if Boomer thinks that someone pointing out his audio being bad and him being a liar by saying his audio isn't bad is canceling, you got to start asking yourself, am I the problem? But he won't, which is the problem. Go on, Boomer.
Yeah, a lot of my audience has tried to cancel me for a difference of opinion. Literally a difference of opinion. Now, much of the thoughts about me are based on something that never happened. So most of what people are mad about me are literally things.
So you notice the word most. I am the reason the word most is there, because all of my contentions, all of my issues, you guys in the comment section with Mr. Boomer here, you need to get a little bit of control over yourselves, okay? We're going to be talking about this. I've been noticing some very not fun behavior in the comments. You guys are a little angry. You guys are a little mean to Boomer, okay? And that's coming from me, guys, all right? You have to remember, the key here is to have fun. You gotta have fun with Boomer. You really need to stop with these stupid little things that you're into. It's just like, It's bickering over like, I think Superman's a better superhero than Spider-Man. Spider-Man's
Right.
so much stronger and better with his spidey senses, though. And you're just like, dude, it's a cartoon show. Just shut up. And that's, you're going to listen to some of the things these people are accusing him of that aren't true. His audio is crap, and he is a liar. That is true. Stick with the truth and take little tiny nitpicky things and blow them out of proportion. That's what's funny. That's fun. Have a good time. You don't need to kill the guy. Jeez.
It didn't happen. So every day somebody says, well, why were you so pro-mandate? And I'd say, that never happened. I don't even know who you're talking about.
See, that's a great example of what I'm talking about. People are coming in saying, he's pro-vaccine, he's pro-mask. He was never pro-vaccine. He's never been pro-mask. That's not the problem. The problem is that he talks about it all the time. That's all he ever talks about is math, 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 math. Oh, I got my vaccine. I did the vaccine. Oh, is the vaccine going to kill you? Is the vaccine going to kill you? Is the vaccine going to give you cancer? It's going to give you a black eye. It's going to be a black eye. Is it the good thing? It's the bad thing. It's a good thing. It's risk management. Risk management. I'm managing my risk. Managing my risk. Math, math, math. That's all he does. That's the problem. We don't care.
You sounded like an auctioneer.
Thank you. It's just nonstop with this guy. All he talks about is this stupid stuff that doesn't matter. And he's not the guy we should be going to for that information.
We're really pushing those masks. And I say, that never happened. I've talked about them. I've never promoted them.
A lot.
You were in the bag for the vaccine makers, to which I say, who are you talking about? That literally never happened. But, doesn't matter. I still get canceled. So I've lost 25%, something like that.
So this is the persuasion manipulator trick. He's trying to say it's the false information that took away 25% of his audience. No, Boomer. That's not the case at all. I'm the reason you lost 25% of your audience, Boomer. Think of me as the Moriarty to your pseudo-intellectual. I am just having fun. I'm having a good time. We love Boomer around here. We love picking on him. And we're only picking on him for things that are true. His audio is bad. And the curse of bad audio has struck him. We're going to show you a lot of examples of that. And he is a liar. He doesn't believe in the truth. And he lies and says his audio's fine when it's not. That's the end of our problems with him. He also does wear verbal blackface. That's a fact. He's not a racist, though. He's not racist. Guys, listen. I've watched Boomer for a long time. I've been watching Boomer since 2015, okay?
You're like one of his only viewers that has stuck around that long.
I really am. And I am an expert on Scott Adams. I'm a self-proclaimed expert on the guy. The dude wears verbal blackface. He's not a racist. But to call the dude racist, that's a pretty big stretch. He definitely wears verbal blackface. That's where you pretend to be black, but you aren't black. Like you say, I am black. I identify as black, and you're not a black person. We call that verbal blackface. But he's not racist. That's very weird, some of the stuff that you guys are attacking him with, and it's not accurate at all. If you got any questions, you're like, hey, Scott Adams, fill in the blank, let me know. We got a list of them. We'll go through them here.
My audience, just because they disagreed with that opinion. So when you're criticizing the other people for canceling, just be aware that it's not always the other people canceling, right? There's a whole lot of canceling going on. And it's basically just people you disagree with at this point. I'm not even sure canceling is real. Let me go further.
Huh?
I don't think cancellation even happens.
Ooh.
I think it's just team play. And if a team can get away with it, they do. And if a team can't get away with it, they don't.
Woo! So Boomer says that we have canceled him. He's been canceled. And that he's okay with it. In fact, he says it's fair play. He's happy that we did it and that we should do it. So that's very nice of Boomer to admit to that. OPVs, what do you think about the fact that we have just canceled the Dilbert guy himself? How do you feel?
He's had it coming.
He's had it coming. I'm, it's a shame that it had to come to this, but hey, out of the liar's mouth it comes. We canceled Boomer. So let's
I will miss our mornings hating on Boomer, though.
That's true. I really
will. That will be dearly missed.
I'm sure he'll never have another episode since he's been canceled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
definitely
how it works, right?
Well, why don't we take a look and see what he's saying at 45:59 minute?
I think it just won't work. We should also talk about people who are partially canceled. Because I consider myself partially canceled.
Oh, okay. He's gonna hobble his words back a little bit here. He's no longer canceled. He's partially canceled. Got it. Because when people come and point out legitimate problems with him and expose the truth about him, and people say, you know what? This guy does just ramble on about vaccines all day. It's kind of lame. And they just leave and join my stream instead. That's not canceling, Boomer. That's called the free market. They're like, wow, this guy's selling rotten, moldy hot dog buns with disgusting 39-cent hot dogs, and another dude just opened a hot dog stand that's like premium gourmet Wagyu beef hot dogs, and the people are like, hey, we're gonna go to that hot dog stand instead. That's not canceling. You made a crap product that nobody wants, and so everybody is leaving your hot dog stand. That's not being canceled, Boomer. The fact that I, a legitimate other content creator, am coming in and just making a better product doesn't mean you're canceled. It's absurd to me. Or partially canceled, as he's saying.
If you were to Google me, if you didn't know anything about me, what do you think you would find out about me if you Googled me? Think about this question. You had no prior conception. You'd never heard of me, never heard my name. Then you go online and you say, let's figure out who this guy's about.
I'll tell you what you'd find. You'd find this.
We're not going to take
Let me tell you, we did the Google search. We did some research on this guy. We're going to address the points that you will find online. And remember, I am a Scott Adams expert. So if what I say goes, it's the truth, boys and girls, about him. But he's got a point. My, oh my, the internet, first and foremost, doesn't even recognize he exists. I searched Scott Adams into Google. That was the first thing I did. I came on over to my search engine. I searched Scott Adams. He's not anywhere on the front page. Not even the first. There's 3 other Scott Adams before him that are significantly richer and more famous than he is. And so it's just Scott Adams, multi-billionaire, Scott Adams, multi-millionaire, Scott Adams, businessman. So you just get all these articles of successful people named Scott Adams. He doesn't even make the top 10 of Scott Adams. That's pretty sad. But when you scroll through very deeply and you do like a long tail keyword search, like Scott Adams, the author of Dilbert, information about him scandal, ? Something like that. Then Scott Adams pops up. And you get some information on the guy, which, frankly, it's all a lot of lies or nonsense. No one's pointing out the real problems, that he's a liar, and that his audio's crap. And so we'll go over those with you guys here in a bit. I have them written down, and we'll be talking them through. As an expert on Scott Adams, I'll be showing those to you.
What he's about. And they Google me. It's going to say I'm a right-wing MAGA supporter. Those 2 things are not true. It's going to say that I'm a misogynist because of something taken out of context, right? Do you know what the only thing it won't say? It won't say I'm a racist. Because so far, somehow I've managed to not fall into any of those traps.
I'm glad Boomer doesn't know how to use the internet, because let me tell you, like 90% of the things I saw about him were like, he's a racist, he's in the KKK, he's a Nazi. These guys really don't like Scott. I'm telling you, it's you gotta learn how to troll people. You don't understand the science. And I'm going to keep hammering this. The key to a good troll is you have to lie, but you have to do it in a way that a normal person reads it and laughs and is like, well, that's obviously a joke. But you also need to make it so that if they're emotionally enraged by it enough, the person who's targeted by it can't see that you're joking. That's how you troll. Just coming up and being like, I sure hope Scott Adams dies. That's not a troll. That's just a mean thing. You shouldn't be wishing death upon people, okay? It's really, I saw my cancer video going viral, the cancerous sip of Scott Adams. That's where he said he didn't want to be associated with the word cancer because it said it would hurt his brand. And that's a ridiculous thing to say. You know, the children's hospitals raising money for cancer every year in the hundreds of millions are not being negatively impacted by trying to help children survive cancer. Okay, it's a ridiculous claim. So the joke is that we're doing that because he believes it's true when it's a silly thing to believe. The joke isn't, yeah, I hope Scott dies of cancer. That's a really messed up thing.
Aww.
And a lot of the people in the comments have been saying that, and that, guys, that's not funny. Like, it's funny for Scott Adams to have an airstrike sent to him by a dude in Montana that blows up his home. Okay, that's funny because it's comically over the top. Wishing cancer on a guy in his late hundreds that's not cool. Okay, you guys need to calm down with it, please. Keep it fun. We're having a good time here. You guys need to stop being such a jerk. It's fun. It's fun to tease him for silly things. This is a roast. This isn't I sure hope Scott kills himself with cancer. I sure hope that the shots he's taking give him cancer and he dies. You're like, dude, that's messed. Like 300% increase in cancer is a real thing. People who got the clot shot, their cancer rates went through the roof. I know. I learned from a reputable source, Vox Day. Vox Day, the musician who starred in our first episode, he told me that the shot apparently is giving people cancer now. Pretty crazy. So, and you know, all of my sources are 100% accurate until checked. So I believe them.
Like that, as far as I know, I don't think there's anything on the internet that would say that. Now, usually those are something taken out of context or whatever, but I don't think I even said anything that could be taken out of context, amazingly. Amazingly, it's hard to do, but amazingly. So I think I'm only being accused of other things.
I'm not being accused of racism because I'm just so perfect, so amazing, so great that I'm not racist at all. Okay, verbal blackface Adams. That's right. That's basically the only thing I could find on the dude, other than his propensity for following left-wing ideology, where he thinks that certain people's skin colors make them deserve special privileges because they aren't able to compete. That's pretty racist. That's what liberals believe, and he believes some of those things. And he does wear verbal blackface. That's a very common thing that he does. So that's all I had to show you for this particular clip. Let's see how the curse of the audio has been going. So as you know, we cursed his audio, and let's take a look at how that's progressing for him, shall we? We're just starting the episode. Let's take a look.
To undoubtedly a peak experience in your life. I'm talking gold medal experience here. Not silver, not copper. Gold medal, all the way. And if you'd like to take it up to whatever is beyond that, and it's almost...
The curse of bad audio strikes again. We have cursed him with bad audio not once, but twice this week. And let me tell you, Boomer, it's coming again. It's not stopping there. You better get yourself one of those interns to fix your audio, buddy, or it's going to keep on going on and on and on. He keeps up on this until the 22nd 27-second mark. And at that point, he realizes how crap his audio is. So let's watch it.
Imagination. All you need is it's a bronze. Okay. You don't want that either. All you need is a cup or a mug or a glass. A tanker, chalice, or stein to get to each other. Glass vessel of any kind. Fill it with your favorite liquid. Oh, we've got a problem with the audio.
Boom! Interrupts the cancerous sip with bad audio.
Which I'm going to fix.
Excellent.
Right now. Because I think I know that problem. Hold on. All right, YouTube. With any luck.
It's not better. He says he knows the problem and he's fixed it. It didn't fix it.
What I just did fixed your sound. Anybody? All right, well.
Nope.
So we're still bad on YouTube. Interesting. Let's see. I've got... Oh, I know the problem. Air gap. Maybe if I had plugged it in.
Okay, so he realizes that the reason his audio is crap is because he didn't plug in the speaker. Let's see if he is then able to accept responsibility for the failure of his bad audio. Shall we? Is it his fault? Is there anything more clear than the fact that his audio was crap? He's the reason it was crap. He screwed it up. He's now trying to fix it. Is it his fault? Or is it the universe's fault because he made decisions that other people couldn't possibly control? And it's just every time this happens, there's no way you can change it. That's it. There's no way to ever change your studio. And I have no responsibility in this. Let's find out. Which one do you think is going to be, O'Peeves?
The next words out of his mouth better be, my apologies. That's all I'm saying.
How about now?
It wasn't.
Anybody? Anybody?
Oh.
All right, his audio's back.
Okay.
All right. So, here's something to learn.
Oh, we're going to learn a lesson. Not my apologies. Not I'm going to work on fixing this. We're going to learn a lesson. What's the lesson, Scott?
Sort of a learning moment. The reason I use iPads instead of other things is that I just keep them on and just set up all the time. If you make any change to your setup, you end up with this. And yesterday I said to myself, I wouldn't mind watching a show while I'm doing some drawing. So I changed one thing on one iPad and forgot to change it back.
Okay, so the problem is the universe is impossible to ever change in any way, and if you change anything about your setup, that it instantly breaks it, and there's no one that's ever made it work in any way, shape, or form. It's not his fault. He's not wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. It's not his fault his audio's crap. No, it is the universe's fault. He's not responsible. I didn't do anything wrong. Dude, just accept that you made a mistake. It's not that hard. Yeah, I mean, look at me. My lighting's perfect. I've never had an issues with my lighting. There's some people in the chat saying that I have issues with lights on the last episode. They're all Chinese trolls. Every one of them.
Paid.
My lighting's perfect. They're all paid by China. It's perfect. Perfect audio. And anyone who says otherwise, ban them for life. They're all banned. They're all trolls. They're all Chinese trolls. It's insanity. This is he just will not admit that he's wrong. I just don't understand. And
we're waiting for the day.
He's also taken to a new habit, which is for the last ever since we introduced episode 1, where we highlighted the Shelley incident. That's where he went on a sexist tirade attacking an innocent woman named Shelley.
Shelley.
Been really, really, really desperately over the toply trying to bait people into saying similar comments, and he keeps going, does she want to get the Shelley treatment? Does she want to get the Shelley treatment? Because he's trying to own the fact that he went on a sexist tirade. He wants to treat it as a joke. and be like, yeah, guys, the Shelley incident. He's brought this up about 6 times before he was able to get it to land. So this is the final attempt. After 6 different times during his stream, going up and being like, oh, is there a negative comment? Do I need to give him the Shelley treatment? oh. Reads the comment. Oh, it's about how my audio's bad. I guess I'm wrong. And then he just ignores it, moves on. So everyone's posting legitimate good comments now because I've been classic conditioning his audience to leave really true, powerful, strong, accurate comments. He finally, after 6 attempts of baiting to try and own the Shelley incident, gets someone. And, well, as you can imagine, the dude drops the ball at the finish line, just completely fails. And it's pretty fun to watch. Let's watch him attempt to own the Shelley incident.
Oh, yeah, there was this one person. Oh, what was this? Scott. So Jessica asked this. Jessica is looking for the Shelley treatment. Let's see if she gets it.
Is she going to get the Shelley treatment? Let's find out.
Hold on. Damn it, stop going by. Why did you support lockdowns that forced everyone to shop at a few stores that opened for less than Why did I...
He skipped the part that was true. But Rachel, you never, again, this is why it's so important. You got to stick with the truth. You really need to just stick with the things that he actually did. He never promoted lockdowns. That wasn't his thing. He locked himself down. He's been like a little hermit locked away in his little castle because he's an old, frail man who's afraid of a cold. This is not the same thing as saying that the government should lock people down. That didn't happen, Rachel. You gotta stick with the silly, obvious, true things. Don't try and get these stretches. Stop trying to squeeze and worm your little obsession with politics into our fun and games. The fun and games is to take small, mundane things he does and blow them out of proportion. That's what makes it fun, okay? Stop trying to make this about politics all the time, people.
I support lockdowns. Jessica? What should we tell Jessica about my support for the lockdowns? Does anybody want to do this for me? Or would you like me to do it?
The truth.
Jessica, you hallucinating piece of shit. That never happened.
That was a good attempt, Boomer, to try and recreate your Shelley incident. Didn't work at all. That was... wow. Talk about a lackluster response. Yikes. Don't worry. It gets worse.
Pathetic.
I never supported lockdowns. Not once. Never came out of my voice. Never wrote it. Never tweeted it. Not fucking once. Not once. So before you come over here and spread libelous misinformation.
Boo! Libelous information. Boomer, there's nothing libelous about this information. She's on YouTube in a comment section talking to a public figure with 600,000 followers on Twitter. There is not a single word of what she said that's libel. Okay? You really need... and Scott, and I'm talking to you, creator to creator here. Everything we're doing on this show is totally allowed. It's called transformative content. It's called the ability to take your YouTube videos and to do this. I'm fully within my rights, and people are allowed to say whatever they want, to chop you up, make you look however you want. And you should be careful, because I'm having fun in games. But I've been watching your comment section, man. You got some psychos. You got some real whack jobs in there who think some really dark stuff about you, man. I'm not like that. I just love teasing you and having a good time. But I just want you to be aware, when you put your videos onto YouTube, that you're accepting those terms and conditions. You really need to be careful what you say on here, because people can just... I could literally just cut you up and say, I cut, don't like, cut, black people, cut, put it together, and I can upload it on YouTube. But why doesn't Scott Adams like black people? That's totally allowed. You can just do that on YouTube. And as long as I'm using clips that you uploaded to YouTube, it's totally allowed. It's a creative license. I'm allowed to do that. It's called transformative content. So seriously, dude, watch your back. No joke. Like, it's... you got to be careful.
Take care
buddy.
of yourself, Boomer.
Yeah, seriously. And the biggest problem is you've been uploading for a long time and you can't get
You've
rid
said
of
a
these.
lot of words.
Even if you remove your videos from the YouTube platform, the archives are still free game. If you ever put your content on here, it's free game. You just watch your back.
It
Boomer.
never goes away.
Watch your back.
Why don't you go check your sources, check your thinking, and come back when you're less useless. Okay? Was that good enough? I know,
No.
you were waiting for the C word, weren't you? But unlike some of you, I treat men and women the same, with equal dignity.
Oh.
And if
Well,
a man
thank you,
attacks
Boomer.
me, I would use any word I wanted to insult that man. If a woman attacks me, and again, if I get attacked first, there's no word I'm not going to use, publicly or privately, if I feel like it. Now, I didn't feel like using the C word with Jessica. She sounded like she was just misinformed. Shelley was a different subject. the Shelley critic that I went off on here, that was a more evil thing. Jessica had an
the
actual
Shelley incident was a more evil thing. Shelley's comment to him was, "Hey, Scott, we're just really tired of hearing about you talk about COVID all the time. Could you please talk about something else? We're willing to look past it. We don't care if you're right. We don't care if you're wrong. We get it. You were in a state of drama. You had a lot of influential friends talking to you at the time. It's okay. We're willing to accept that and let's just move past it and get on to a new topic." That's all Shelley said. Nothing he did. Nothing. Not even a hint of evil.
question based on a misunderstanding. That's fair. So I didn't go as hard as her. But I'm not gonna hold back because somebody's gender. Should I? How many of you are such backward misogynists that you think I should?
Stumbling over his words because he's the type of guy. He's not like me. He's not connected to the life, the truth, and the way. He doesn't just let the energy flow through him and let the words roll perfectly off his tongue. He's the kind of guy who has to write down his notes, get exactly what he's going to say.
Get the script.
And he's rehearsing in his head.
Practice.
Okay, this is the Shelley incident. This is how I'm going to own the Shelley. This is how I'm going to make it work. All right, my plan, persuasion-wise, is I'm going to say, oh, did they want the Shelley treatment? Showing that I own it. Then what I'm going to do is say that they're backwards and they're sexist because I treat people the right way. All right, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to say. All right, let's go. Stare into the camera. Time to shine. I'm not racist because of the sexism that you guys, you're backwards. You're the real sexist because I call people bad names. Really? That's what we're going to go with, Boomer? That's what we're going to go with? Really? This is you dropping it at the finish line? Come on, Boomer.
Oh, he is a master persuader.
Master persuader.
In public. Does anybody think I should treat them differently? If they attack me first. Right? Well, I guess I shouldn't make a difference. Yeah, no. There's no reason I should treat them differently. Scott, will you apologize to? Now, Jessica's going all caps. Apologize to, except I couldn't read it.
Is it Rachel or
Well,
Jessica?
I apologize to what? And it went away.
This one is Jessica.
Okay.
Apologize. How long are you going to blabber about this? Oh, okay. Jessica's being a cunt now. Okay.
Oh! He said
Go,
it.
Jessica.
Good work, Jessica. Good work.
She did it.
Wow. And this is the point.
You are just a fucking miserable piece of shit cunt. So I'm going to get rid of you. I thought oh man, I just hit the wrong.
He blocks the wrong person. He blocked the wrong person.
All right.
Wow. What a
I'm going to
boomer.
sign off now.
And he rage quits the stream. He rage quits the stream. She shows up. He calls her horrifying sexist remarks again to try and own the Shelley incident. He completely fumbles the ball at the finish line, gets so enraged by it, tries to block her, fails to block her, and then gets so mad that he rage quits his stream. Boomer, it's not about whether or not she's a man or a woman. It's about the fact that you're the Dilbert guy. You're the Dr. Seuss of comics. You don't just treat your fans like that. You don't call anyone this. You don't treat your male fans or your female fans like this, because being an asshole is being an asshole. We're not mad that she's a woman, Boomer. We're mad that you're a jerk. You big jerk. Jeez, why can't you just treat your fans well? Why do you have to be such a cruel, unusual, unhappy, angry man? You got all the money in the world. You got an audience. You've got money. You got a beautiful wife. You're living the dream. Why are you so angry, so grumpy, so mean to the people who come and try and support you? Why does everything have to be this hyperbolic, over-the-top nonsense? Boomer! Sick. It's absolutely sick. Let's take a look at his one of his more recent episodes here, episode 1650, and let's see how that audio's going. Episode 1650, start of the video. I want you to see this. Isn't like I'm going through and finding the one time his audio messed up. First time.
Good morning, everybody. Wow, you are looking good. You know why you look so good? It's because I'm one.
Anybody else hear the wash machine running in the background? That's another audio issue. The curse of the bad audio once again strikes the Boomer twice in 1 week. In fact, it was actually 3 times. You'll have to wait until the next episode comes out. That was in today's episode. He claims that a ominous hum has entered his house, and it's only in this room, and he can't figure out what the source is, and that it's made national news. So my curses are really effective. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And he addresses
wearing black today. Yeah, it's true. Everybody looks good when I wear black. I think that's the same. If you hear something that sounds like a little bit of fry in the audio, that might be the shower that's running in the room next to me in a feat of terrible timing.
Oh, would you look at that? Once again, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. He didn't make the bad audio. It's everybody else's. It's bad timing. This just had to happen. The universe is against me. The wizard's curse is the reason why I have bad audio. Boomer, you're the reason your audio is bad. Just admit it, and we can move on. It's not that hard. It's all we're waiting for. Come on. Let's get over this. Now, rather than address these obvious facts, he's going to complain about being canceled again. Let's listen to him whine about being canceled.
It just turns bad. Oh, speaking of bad publicity.
He's now crying on camera because he's weak.
You know, we live in a world of, massive character assassination, as you know. And
you're welcome.
Do you know what happens if somebody who doesn't know anything about me, me personally, somebody who doesn't know anything about me, finds out about me for the first time by reading stuff on the internet about me? Do you have any idea what happens?
For those of you wondering, wait a minute, are we watching the clip from before in the beginning? No. This is a new episode. He just repeats himself over and 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 over again in his episodes.
Because I heard about this recently. Somebody who wasn't aware of Dilbert, wasn't aware of any books I've written, anything I've done on live stream, wasn't aware of anything.
So the majority of the public
just went to the internet to find out because my name came up. I went to the internet to learn about me.
He's laughing a little too much.
Let me just say, the word horrifying doesn't.
I agree. Your audio is horrifying, Boomer. You're right. And the fact that you can't accept that you are responsible for your bad audio is a lie, and you are a liar!
It doesn't cover it. Well, have I ever taught you that, I think I say it too often, that freedom from embarrassment is like a superpower? Because I'm not sure the rest of you could even survive this, but to me it's hilarious.
He thinks that they couldn't survive my episodes. Wow. A guy with 600,000 followers just said my little tiny clip with like 120 views, like nothing. I'm a nobody, guys. We're nobodies. We're just the owls. We're a bunch of dudes just meeting up, having fun, hanging out, and having a few laughs at the expense of some major influencer. This guy's got 600,000 followers on Twitter, people. This is a huge, huge guy. And he just said he doesn't think most people could survive my commentary. I think we're doing a great job. What do you think?
I'd have to agree with him, too, honestly.
It's pretty insane. I think
I'd agree with him.
It's pretty impressive.
Most people wouldn't survive an attack from the wizard.
You know what? Fair point.
Yeah, at first it was horrifying to me too. Like my first reaction was, oh my God. If you didn't know anything about me, that's the first thing you'd learn, and basically none of it is true. And
whoa, Scott! Hold the phone! Everything I've said about your audio is true. Everything. And Scott, I've been watching you for over 5 years. Do you really want me to show everyone everything that's true about you? Do you, Boomer? Your audio is not good. You made it bad. Admit it and fix it. And maybe this could all just go away and we could keep it lighthearted, truthful accusations. But don't you dare accuse me of lying. My videos are correct.
And but the more I thought about it, the funnier it is that there's just like this complete caricature of me. Now, this is, of course, in the context of watching what's happening to Joe Rogan, because you can't really do a live stream today without talking about...
Oh, yeah, and this is another weird thing I've been noticing about my strange gift. So you know that I just look into people's eyes and I can sense the truths about them, and I just peel back through them. Scott Adams says very frequently he can't read minds, but I can. And I'm a mentalist, so I can read his mind. So when he comes in and says stuff, I know what he's thinking, and it's 100% accurate. For example, when Scott Adams wears verbal blackface, I know he's not trying to be racist because I can read his mind. What I see is he is a very hard left liberal guy. And so as a cartoonist and a comedy writer, he thinks it's funny for him to go and say something that's a bit provocative, like saying he identifies as black. So from his perspective, that's funny. He's not actually being racist when he wears verbal blackface. I read his mind. Scott, let me know. Was my mind reading accurate here? I want to know. Let me know. Okay? Just give me some feedback. Come on my show. Come on my show, Boomer. Let's chat. Let's chat about whether or not the stuff you've been talking about is true or not. Now, back to what I was saying. This weird thing's been happening where I look at people and I collect people, unique characters on the internet, And they are starting to have this very creepy blending together. And the best way I can describe this is it feels borderline schizophrenic for me, where I go and I watch Boomer, and he starts talking about Junkie Joe Rogan. I go and watch Junkie Joe Rogan. He starts talking about Owen Benjamin. I go to Owen Benjamin. He's talking about the guy who wrote a song for Scott Adams named Vox Day. These people are all starting to and just like and squish together into this weird TV show in my head, because they're all talking about each other now, and I don't know why, but it's quite disturbing. I just, you've got all these people that I've been collecting all these years that have nothing connecting them. They're completely different people. They have no association whatsoever, but for some reason, whatever my eye is picking up on is combining them together. And now I'm wondering, does my eye make this happen? It's very strange. So if you guys have any theories on this bizarre paranormal power I have, let me know. My apologies. I mistakenly pressed the button. I'm going to try and do better for you guys.
Rogan's problems. And watching CNN run a hit piece on him today that was just so messed up. I mean, just completely messed up. I'm not even going to criticize it. It was just so messed up.
Wow, okay, so Boomer is taking the side of Junkie Joe Rogan. I guess that makes sense, considering that Scott Adams himself likes to abuse marijuana so much. If he's constantly abusing drugs, he probably is totally fine with Junkie Joe Rogan pushing hardcore, dangerous drugs onto young children. Pretty sick, pretty weird, but I think it's pretty cool that, once again, this bizarre paranormal world is starting to open up. And that, my friends, is what we have for Boomer today in terms of clips. But I wanted to address some of the many, many claims here. So we've got Boomer up on the screen. We told you how we feel about him here today. I wanted to just go through, as an expert on Scott Adams, we did the Google search. We found the article he's talking about, and I'm just going to answer these. And if you have any questions or comments, or you want to know about Scott Adams, I am an expert on Scadams. That's a funny name. I'm an expert on Scott Adams, self-proclaimed, of course, and I've been watching his videos for 5 years, over 5 years of experience studying this man. So there's probably no one who's a better expert on him than me, personally, in my opinion. So if you have a question, let us know in the comments below. OPBs, if you have any of those, let me know, and we will address those. I'm going to start out with the list of ones that we got from Reddit here. Another source for this was Rational Wiki. So the first claim that we have is Scott Adams. Is he racist? No, the dude's not racist. I don't know why you guys keep saying this. This isn't a good line of attack. If you want to attack him and make him feel uncomfortable, he really is proud of the fact, egotistically so, that people don't call him racist. Ha ha ha, because he's so good. So what you need to do is tell the truth. Instead of calling him racist, which is not true, say that he uses verbal blackface, which is true. He does call himself black and say he identifies as black when he's not. Okay? So if you want to troll him, accuse him of verbal blackface. Okay? Very simple. Number 2. Oh, you know what? This would do well with a drum roll, wouldn't it?
Oh, I think so.
I think so. Let's take a look at accusation number 2 for Boomer. Scott Adams. Is he sexist? No, he's not sexist any more than any normal person should be. For example, women are physically weaker than men. That's an objective fact. He's never said anything to indicate like, oh, if you're a woman, that means that you don't have value in society. Absolutely never been stated by the man, as far as I can tell. I'm sure he said it. I know he said it about some women, For example, Shelley. So if you want to attack him for being sexist, what you got to do is insult him for his sexist tirades against Shelley. That is true. So if you want to bring that up, very good. Very, very good here indeed. Let's move on to accusation number 3. Cancer. Is Scott Adams' dot on his head cancer? I sure hope not. And you should hope not too. That's messed up. Don't wish cancer on people. Cancer's not funny. If Scott Adams' mole growth on the side of his head is cancerous, I pray for a speedy recovery for him. That's not funny. Please don't joke about an old man getting cancer. That's just don't. It's funny. Instead, now what's the troll? Associate his brand with being a cancer researcher. He doesn't like the word cancer. So the joke is not that we want Scott Adams to die of cancer. That's messed up. What we want is for Scott Adams to become the Elon Musk of cancer. Like, why can't he go and become the cancer guy? Why can't he put his millions of dollars, his persuasion, his audience, his influence into trying to fight something that's an actual issue instead of talking about COVID all the time? Why can't he just talk about how we're going to fight cancer? That's a much bigger problem. And overall, Scott, dude, look at me. You should be paying me by the hour, sir. I have a consultation rate. I'm doing better marketing for you than any man has ever done. I'm telling you, dude, you really want to have me on your team, because I think with the right branding and with me on your team, we have a position. Why can't you be the guy who ends death? That's a pretty broad topic. What if you are just constantly researching new ways to extend life, to increase our health, to overall the perspective, the paradigm shift, if you will, the paracosmic viewpoint would be, what if death is just a disease like anything else? What if the reason that we haven't cured death is because we don't think of it as a disease, but an inevitability? What if we start treating death itself like a disease instead of all these different little sub-issues that can cause death? What if we just tried to end the concept of death itself? That's an interesting topic. Wouldn't you want to hear that topic from Scott Adams and find out, how can I extend my life? What is the research like on this? How can we push this forward? Who are the top thinkers? I'd be really interested in that, wouldn't you, Peeps?
I would be.
It'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. So instead of trying to going in his comment section and telling an old man to die of cancer, not funny, guys. Just instead say, hey, how are things going in cancer research? I'd love to know. Hey, have you got any finds on cancer research? I love you. You're my cancer guy. You got all the best information on cancer. And this is a technique called framing. This is where you just say that that's something, the quality that he has, and imply that it's that, and he'll eventually become it. So make sure you're going in the comment section, but be positive. Please don't be so negative. It's kind of mean. And frankly, you guys are turning me on to this guy. I'm starting to like him more and more because, gosh, you guys are jerks. You're a bunch of meanies. All right, let's move on to accusation number 3. Or 4?
4.
Scott Adams is Scott Adams an evolution / climate change denier? Who isn't? Evolution? Really? You guys are on board with evolution? You realize it's biologists that's their theory. Biologist. These people are IRL Pokemon trainers. That's their life. These people just go around and they're like, I'm going to collect monkeys. This is not our best and brightest. You really, really shouldn't be trusting anything you have to hear from biologists, okay? These guys are jokes. In general, all of the science you should just throw out the window. There's only really 2 schools that you should be listening to about anything when it comes to academia. Engineers particularly mechanical engineers, people who deal in the real world. And if they don't follow the rules and they get their math wrong, people literally just die, and then they lose their jobs and their careers end. Engineers, mechanical engineers with at least 3 years experience. And then from the arts and philosophy, you should be listening to the marketers and the advertisers, because they spend all day studying what people want. And the only way to be successful in marketing is to create a better, more platonic ideal for a person and then let people know about that. And if you don't, then you just turn into this manipulative shill guy, and then you get what is known as marketing today, is this ineffective, really gross nonsense. But the true artists shine through, and they become consultants and go on to make their own things. Like, for example, if you want to see someone who's excellent at that, Alex Becker is a great example of a person who gets marketing. Ryan Holiday is another example of a great marketer who gets marketing, and because of that, he has to study these philosophical roots. So if you're hearing anything from psychology, throw it out the window, it's garbage. If you're hearing anything from biologists, throw it out the window, it's garbage. If you're hearing anything from physicists, throw it out the window, it's garbage. Mechanical engineers, engineers in general, there's exceptions to that engineering rule, and then marketers. But really, if you're that low down on the thinking pool, guys, you've got to up your game. The internet is becoming a very easy place to manipulate people, and the number one way to do that is to convince people who are just slightly above average intelligence that there's this magical group of people called scientists who are all smart and should be trusted. No. Science is no different than Scientology. It's a religion. Their entire field is based on peer-reviewed research, which is not reproducible 52% of the time. It's less accurate than a coin flip. You got to keep your head on your shoulders. Read Socrates. He'll help you out. All right? So if you're worried about whether or not he's an evolution denier or a climate denier, you really shouldn't. So let's get to the final accusations here. Final accusation. Is Boomer's audio bad? Is he a liar? And can he not admit that he's wrong? Yes, that's 100% true. All of that's true, and you should criticize him for that. So that, my friends, is the list of accusations against Boomer. I am the forefront expert, in my opinion, on Scott Adams, and that's my takes on him today, boys and girls. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Boomer, and we are going to be moving on.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up.